Hello, you're from Harvest, and I'm bringing to you my most expected trades for the month of July 2021. I have set aside three pairs in commodities: USDCAD from the forex market, XAU gold from the metals, and the last one Doge from the cryptocurrencies. Alright, this is a monthly view, a monthly analysis, so I'll take my views from the weekly. You can use the rest of the time frames to check out what the market is saying. Okay, this is USDCAD, and we started this plunge, this downtrend from March last year, and that's really been rolling and rolling and rolling strongly down up to this point, and the market has really lost a lot. From this high last year, we draw it down to this region. It's about 18% of the market, of the total market value. 18% of the total market value is what the market's displaced in just how many months? Let's see, in about 62 weeks. 62 weeks, that's a year and 10 days, and 10 weeks, and the market has lost 18% of its value. So what am I expecting for the month of July 2021? For the USDCAD, it has not really had a proper retracement since the crash from last year. What I'm expecting is perhaps there's going to be a really good retracement coming in. Here was the only support that could hold the USDCAD, and in fact this region could not hold it. We have about 6 years support region, 6 years. This is 2015 May, and here we have 2021 May. So if I'm going to view it on a monthly time frame, after this large bar that we had in June, it really helped the market so much, and then this June ending bar into July gave us a very strong retracement. On the monthly view, I have these two tops here, and these two tops that was where the bounce came from last year. There's huge supply at this region. You can see how long the weeks are on the monthly view. There's huge supply in this region, and the price was here in 2016 January, and then in March 2020, 4 years, almost 4 years. After 4 years, there was a drop again from this same region, so causing it to arrive at a double top. You can see it now. This is the first top and this is the second top, and it crashed down to this neckline region, and that is possible neckline for a breakdown. But you see when it touched the neckline, the June bar was very strong bar for us, and it gave us an outside bar, and I love to trade outside bars, especially at regions like with strong support. It is coming down up to 50%, or most likely 61%, and then a move up higher, just like what this bar did here. If you see what this bar did here, there was a retracement. Even though there was no retracement at first, it eventually came down and it retraced the 50% of it. After retracing 50%, then there's a plunge higher. You see what it did also here. There's a retracement with this bar, not up to 50%, and then in some other places you will see throughout the market here as well, there was a retracement up to 61%, and then before it started moving high again. So I expect the USDCAD to move a little bit higher, and I'm going to go to the daily time frame now. On the daily time frame, where exactly am I expecting the price to really move to? Yes, I have this rounding bottom that happened weeks ago, and this rounding bottom broke out in this region. When it got to this region, it bounced backward, and then we have this large bar that came up on the 15th of June. And after this breakout on the 15th of June, it has really been moving high. In fact, it has traded over 100% of the rounding bottom. If we're going to place it towards this region as well, let me place another support line to this region, having this here as support, having some support here, and also having it as support here. Would say that after breaking out, it moved about 61% and then we traced this region. But with this bar that we have on the 2nd of July, it confirmed that the outside bar in the month wants to be retested, wants to be retraced. So what I am expecting is the move. Let me use a Fibonacci level. I'm expecting a move down to this region, and you can see where the 61% is using the highs and the lows. Now if I bring it to the closes of the day, it is still in the same region. So I'm expecting this to move. Okay, I'll change this now using this place as support. This 61% retracement is most likely going to come down to this region or this region. Yes, as support here, and with the breakout for the 50%, is going to come to this region or to this region. So for me, this is the price level to watch. And after this price level has been created in this region, I'm going to begin to seek for a signal. I'm going to be seeking signal to know what to enter and when to enter. What your technical analysis gives you is how to know the region to enter. But fundamentals comes in to assist what the technical has been saying positively, and those that happen negatively will happen with a long wick. You see it is going to have a long wick plunged down, and then it will eventually close within that range that the technical has been saying. So in coming days, let us have ourselves range down to these levels. After the range down to these levels, okay, where are we expected to move to? I'm seeing an overhead resistance in this region as well as in this region, and then I will be using the weekly time frame to confirm it to know if it's how valid it is. I believe there's a trend line resistance here as well. That is why we have these closes here. There's a trend line resistance here. You see where it's acted as resistance here, acted as resistance here, acted as resistance here, and the kind of resistance that is showing, it is giving us something more like a bump and run pattern. This is the bump here, and this is the run pattern that is about to break out. If this is going to test down to these levels, and then there's anything like a move up to these levels as well, a breakout from this trend line is going to give us a really good run pattern. Viewing this on the week, like I mentioned, that we want to see where the market is most likely going to enter. I'm going to have my retracement from these levels. This is where the 23 came out to be, and this is where the 38 came out to be, and this is where the 50 came out to be. 50% retracement. I have the 38% here and my 23% here. Alright, I'll do it on the daily time frame now. On the daily time frame, we don't give us a major support or resistance zone visibly, but we can see where this resistance here, it's almost going to be inclining with the moving average. Eventually it is going to be inclined with the moving average, and a touch of this zone, of this demand zone, when it eventually touches it, there's going to be a bounce up, and after hitting this resistance, and if there is going to be a breakout from this resistance, it is going to really be a good one to the stop. So what I will be waiting for is a signal in this region. I won't wait for it to give me a breakout signal, because the market is clear what it wants to do. From the monthly time frame, we have this outside bar, and after outside bars, no matter what, even though it is not going to move so much, it's going to move at least 23% higher off from the highest outside bar, and this is the high of the outside bar that we have, the June bar. This is the high of it. It's going to happen at all. At least 23% of it is going to move up. If I have my long signal from this region, but I have to trade with signal, I have my long signal from this region, I'll be able to long the market up to this region. Yeah, this is gold for the month of July, and if you'll be following my analysis in recent weeks now, you'll see that you'll be familiar with this. I have this channel that I capped for this region, having this as support and a little bit of support and resistance here, and then here has the wide resistance and also resistance in this region. So we had this move down First move down, second move down, and what I see the market doing is the third move down. It may not eventually, it may not really get to this region, and if it gets there, you see where this moving average is a little bit coming towards it. It comes towards it and it meets the price in this region again, then it's really going to be a very good signal up. So what I am expecting the market to do in the month of July, I'll switch to the monthly time frame now. As you can see on the monthly time frame, the range of the bar for the month of May was totally declined by the month of June. And then if you're going to look at this on maybe in a 3 month time frame, on a 2 month time frame, what you'll be seeing is going to be a doji. It's going to be a doji. The market is so indecisive. So, and then for the month of July, this is not really giving us a confirmation that it's going to be a good short signal, although it is enough to say, like I said in the USDCAD, it is not always, it's not all the time that you have an engulfing bar that is really a strong signal. You have to know if it is an engulfing bar in a region that is necessary. So in this price range here, a little bit of expectation has been there. I think it was the previous highest high, the highest high that was had in 2011, and that is the region where the price bounced back. So what I'll be expecting for the month of July is a retracement of, most likely retracement of this bar if it wants to ever come down to this region, a retracement of this bar, and then furthermore we have a plunge. Right, on the daily time frame, we have this supply zone happening here, and then we have the last bar on Friday before the making of this video. I mentioned in the analysis we had for the week that we have the high of this bar already above the highs of the previous bars, and all these ranging bars, all these doji bars that we had here. So there's going to be a little bit of retracement upwards according to the analysis as well, and then this retracement I think is going to come to a minimum of this region here. Why? Because this is a very strong support to this. It was a very strong support to this region here. I think there's going to be more of a upside to this region. That's about 38% of the month's range, and the 50% I think it's acting around this region. Could come to this resistance level. It was acting as resistance here, it's acting as resistance here, so, and then support a little bit in this region. So it will come down up to these levels as well, but I don't expect it to shoot this high. I think that's about 61% retracement of this down move. So what I'm expecting of gold is a very good one. Let's have this retrace, a little bit of retracement, and then we move up to this region, and then most likely just play around this region a little bit before there will be an eventual drop. But I am most on the levels of a drop. Perhaps from this region or from this region. Finally, for Doge, been playing out what I've been expecting from the market in the recent weeks, and then I have this analysis about 2 weeks ago, but there's 2 pins that we have here, these long weeks that we had here, as why the price had to bounce again while it touched this region. It means this is a very strong, there's a strong demand here, maybe a temporary strong demand for now. It was a demand zone, and see how high it's rallied before there's another drop, and then again it is rallying already again. You could see how it rallied back to this region. We'll see that on a daily time frame. Let me have a view of the monthly time frame. This is a very big indecisive bar here. Here is a lesser indecisive bar, and then we still have the sellers having the markets to themselves. So what I think the market is going to do for this particular bar, it's going to be a little bit of range here, which it has been doing in a few days now. Then you have a little bit of up move to these levels, 50% of this bar. This is around the 38% of it. It's going to move a little bit to this level, 50% or so, and then from here it's going to have a down move. So I'll go to the daily time frame now to confirm what we are saying. This is what I think the zone that the Doge is going to come up to, but I don't think it's going to get up to these levels. I don't think it's going to get up to these levels, but Doge is going to come close to these levels. At least it's going to enter into this region. It's going to come close to these levels, maybe with this aligning with these levels here. What I'm looking for in the market is a short. That's what I'm looking for in the market, because the crypto fall, the crypto crash is not, it has not ended yet. There's still going to be a last move, in my own opinion. So I'm going to look for price to get up to these levels, and then we're going to short it down to these levels. We're going to have a little bit of a bounce again, and then maybe an outside move. So that is what I'm expecting from the crypto market. I'm going to have a recap of my markets now. For USDCAD, what I'm looking for is the test of this region, and then I'm going to have it long. For gold, what I'm expecting is a move to these levels, or even above it, around this region. If there's going to be a signal, a good signal, see, this is a good signal, it's a good signal. If I have a good signal, then I'm going to have it sold. I want to sell gold for the month of July. That is what I'm expecting. And like I already said a few seconds ago, that Doge just need to move to this region, and then I'm going to also have it sold. So this is a cap of my market analysis and market view for the best trade for July, my most expected trade for July. And I am not advising you to enter into any trade without your own technical views, without your own financial understanding of the market. Please have knowledge gotten already. Wish you a great trading month and a better quarter 3 result.